Good morning. Please take your seats. Good morning. How you guys doing? I can't hear you. Speak up. How you doing this morning? Good. There it is. So welcome to 1 Million Cups Dallas today. We've got 3 presenters for you, which is a little bit unusual. We usually have 2. But a couple of announcements before we start with our first presenter. Take a look at SoftTech over here. Joel Carter's showing some really cool stuff. We're going to hear from him in about 15 minutes. For those of you this is your first time at 1 Million Cups, what we do is we basically have a presenter up here that's going to give you a pitch. They're going to give you a 6-minute pitch. And after that pitch, we're going to start clapping because it can only last 6 minutes long. And then after that, we're going to do a 10-minute Q&A session. So 1 Million Cups is brought to you by the Kauffman Foundation. They're basically a grassroots organization that helps little companies like ours get up here and get the word out about what you're doing. But we are here in this facility due to the good graces of the DEC. That's the Dallas Entrepreneurial Center. If this is your first time in the DEC, I recommend that you talk to Emmanuel right here and take a tour with him at the end of the session. So with that, we're going to get started with our first presenter, who is Todd. And Todd, why don't you give him a little bit about what you're doing here?
Yeah, so I guess I can kind of jump right into it.
Give a round of applause.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, so we are Take Command Health. We're a local Dallas startup. We're focused on empowering individuals to make good health insurance decisions. So essentially, you can think of us like a TurboTax for health insurance. We start at the beginning, guide users through a short survey of several questions, and then at the end result, we'll recommend the best health plan for them. We have on-market plans, off-market plans, which are private, directly with the insurance carriers, and then what we call faith-based plans, which is our partner Medishare. The problem that we're solving is most of our users come to our site, which health plan do I choose? They have so many options. There's not a lot of transparency or clarity in the market. So, for example, is my Zoloft prescription covered? I need my child's pediatrician. Which is the most affordable plan? What if I have diabetes? My daughter has cancer. So these are all questions that users come to our site that we can answer and help them find the best health insurance plan for their decision. And ultimately, if you give the average person the data that they need to make a decision, but you don't guide them through that process, about 88% will make the wrong decision, which results in a waste of about $530 per year. So, with the passing of the ACA, obviously individuals are required to get health insurance now. So the market's growing quickly. There's also trends in business going on where businesses are pushing their full-time employees to be part-time, so they don't have to cover them, which results in more people going to the market or private exchange for health insurance. And it remains to be seen how this will change now that Trump is president, but we still see them requiring individuals to get health insurance. So we're not worried about the growth of the market in our field. So how it works is you log on, go through the process. We'll show you on-exchange, off-exchange, faith-based plans. We have consumer-enabling features like doctor search, prescription search, cost of care estimates. And then we'll enroll you directly with the insurance carrier as well to kind of relieve the hassle of you having to do that. One of our most popular tools is the doctor search, just because people come to us and most of them care most about keeping their doctors. So our business model, we're scalable. We don't do call centers, so we operate through email and chat. We give awesome plan advice, high retention. Most of our customers come through referrals, although we do a lot of online marketing and partnerships. We try to be innovative, stay in front of the trends in the industry. Especially, right now there's going to be a lot that's changing, and people ask, are you guys concerned about that? But actually, we're very excited because we think that a lot of people are going to be coming to our site looking for answers, and we'll be there to help. We're growing through channel partnerships. We're expanding to 6 states now. Next year, we're going to be rolling out a small business and Medicare platform. We're going to be looking to license our data as well. We collect a ton of data. And we have a member dashboard where we have basic and premium memberships. Basic is just simple online tools. Premium gives you full access to things like Teladoc, medical bill negotiation that I'll discuss here in a little bit, which is this next slide. So the free kind of promotes year-round engagement for us through the platform with our users. It's kind of a self-help portal as well, and it increases our sales funnel because it's open to everybody. For premium, it's recurring revenue for us, great value. We sell the individual plans for $20 a month, family plans are $30 a month, no matter the size of the family. And it's like I said, teledoc, medical bill negotiation, prescription discounts, vision discounts, dental discounts. So it's kind of like a cool way for us to offer what are typically big group benefits to a group of individuals. And we have great scalable traction. Average cost of user acquisition last year with our pilot was $37. We're looking to beat or exceed that this year, and we have a much higher satisfaction rate than a lot of our competitors. And like I said, one of our biggest ways that we get users is through referrals and people who promote us. And so, as I mentioned, our net promoter scores are a lot higher than our users. Y'all recognize our competitors. Y'all recognize a lot of the names at the bottom: Oscar, Humana, Blue Cross, Aetna, United. We are over there on the left. But the typical 12-month retention rate, which means the users that actually stay on your platform are with you for 12 months, ours is 77%, the typical average is 56%. And that's kind of a breakdown of where our traffic is coming from. Here's our team. Some of us are part-time loggers, contractors, but we have 4 full-time partners. Jack in the middle, who actually founded the company. Myself, partner of business development, and then Vishal and Davis. Vishal's our CCO, and Davis is our COO. And then here's where we've been. So we raised $1 million this summer. Built out the team, and then we're looking to grow this year by 4 times from our last year's revenue. It's open enrollment right now for health insurance, as a lot of you know, so that started November 1st. If you want to plan by January 1, it closes out on December 15th, so you have to enroll by December 15th. That plan starts at the beginning of the year. The states that we're going to be in: Texas, Florida, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin. And then one of our biggest strategies this year too is to really grow our membership plan. There's going to be a lot of market uncertainty. Commissions are unstable. People are exiting from the market in terms of the insurance carriers. Political uncertainty, but we'll be there to answer those questions. Where we need help, identifying partnership opportunities. Where can we go and what can we do that other competitors of ours can't? Design and development. How can we build to serve large numbers that we can scale? And then our growth and expansion strategy. How can we acquire more users, and where can we improve our distribution to get more traction with users? So that's it.
Thank you, Todd. Big round of applause for Todd. So we have time for a 10-minute Q&A. Certainly if you have questions, but also if you have constructive criticism, we want to hear from you. Before you start talking, though, make sure you have the mic, because we're actually recording this for our YouTube channel, okay? So anybody have questions? Burning questions, folks. One over here.
Hi, thank you for being here. That was great. So what's the background story on how this came about? What was the purpose and the mission of this in the beginning?
Yeah, so it actually came about because Jack was going to get his MBA at Wharton and found out that him and his wife were pregnant with twins. And so they literally were driving to Pennsylvania, found out, and he started going, well, what do I do? What insurance do I need? How much is this going to cost me? And there were no good answers. So it actually started out as an Excel spreadsheet. And then he essentially built it out from there to be a pilot project, which is when I met Jack earlier this year when he was raising his round. I invested and joined full time, and we turned it into an actual business. But I had a small business before this. I ran my own business for 5 years. I had the exact same problems that Jack had in terms of what health insurance plan do I need for me and my wife, and now our newborn baby, what do we need to get? Just there were no good answers out there, so we set out to answer that question to help other folks like us figure that stuff out. Which, if you haven't built an Excel spreadsheet yourself at home like we have, it was very hard to figure out before we built this platform. So it came from a true need.
Todd, thanks for the presentation. A question: I'm guessing there's a lot of seasonality in your business and with a 4x revenue target. On the other side of that, how do you cope with, let's say you hit that 4x number, how do you cope with the growth that you're going to be experiencing with that?
Yeah, I mean, our business is very unique, and as you said, exactly right. I mean, it's very seasonal. We have about really, truly a month selling period. I mean, Most of our sales will come from now until December 15th. And actually about 60% of it will come between December 1st and 15th. So it's really, it really is, it's highly seasonable, so it's very hard to project what your revenue is going to be from one year to the next. And so people go, well, once January rolls around, what the heck do you guys do? Like, oh, we just go play golf. No, really what we do is we focus on building out the platform for the next year. We take a ton of user feedback during open enrollment, and then we're going to be highly focused on growing our membership plan. And then next year, Medicare, which Medicare is year-round. You qualify when you turn 65, and actually there's 10,000 people a day in the United States that turn 65. So it's a giant opportunity for us, and we can use a lot of the technology that we've already built to serve that market.
And just to confirm, you guys are pretty much just in Texas right now? Or how many states are?
Yeah, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Michigan. So we're in 6 states, and then hopefully we'll be nationwide next open enrollment.
Got it. And then in terms of the growth, how much of that is more of the, I guess, B2C versus the partnership model you mentioned?
Yeah, so for this year, we weren't doing a whole lot of partnerships, but I believe that it's going to be almost 50-50 this year in terms of what we're going to do directly with partners. We're partnering with real estate companies, nonprofits, doctor networks, small business associations. So there's a lot of different opportunities for us. We can really go anywhere in terms of who we can partner with. We're just trying to identify the partners that the message resonates with the most. And so that tends to be companies that have large groups of individuals that aren't necessarily full-time employees, or organizations that have large networks of contractors to work on.
Could you describe your pricing model again?
Sure. Yeah, sorry, I didn't touch on that. But we get paid by the insurance carriers. So we get commissions from the insurance carriers. Last year, the commissions averaged about 5 to 6%. This year, it's getting more closer to the 2 or 3% range. But for us, it actually, we think, and we're seeing that it's improving our user growth because small insurance brokers are not able to effectively serve customers when the commissions get squeezed like that. We have a technology and platform that's scalable at large volumes, and so as people come for answers that are not getting served where they used to get served through small brokers anymore, we're able to serve them effectively even though those commissions get squeezed.
Okay, next question right here.
Hi, you mentioned, unless I'm mistaken, insurance companies have to be authorized to sell insurance in certain states, right?
Absolutely.
Do you also require some kind of state authorization?
Yeah. So we are a full licensed insurance broker. Each one of us are licensed agents. And in fact, even to be here talking to you guys about health insurance, I have to be a licensed agent to do that. And so what we do, we don't do anything in person unless it's at things like this where somebody's like, hey, love to have a question answered and things like that. I was at Common Desk yesterday all day, just there answering questions for folks. But we're not going into people's houses or into businesses and selling insurance directly. We use our platform to do that. But absolutely, every state we go into, we have to get a new license with each state, and then we also have to get a new contract with each carrier. So the licensing and regulation of this is actually a full-time job.
Okay, we have time for one more question.
Thanks, you did a good job. I have a question. How do you know when you give, or how can you determine whether you're giving good advice to somebody?
Yeah, so we have access to 30 million claims in the database, and essentially what we're doing is the user goes through the process is, hey, for me, my name's Todd Peoples. I live in Dallas, Texas. I'm 31 years old. I'm a male. I'm a non-smoker. I want this doctor. I want this prescription, and I have asthma, right? So what we're doing behind the scenes is we're taking data of claims that's already been run, and we're narrowing down those fields as you go through that process. So for a 31-year-old male in his early 30s that has asthma, that takes these prescriptions, that lives in Dallas, Texas, we can estimate what your cost of care is going to be for your doctor, for those prescriptions, and for your conditions. And so the advice that we're giving in terms of the plans that we're recommending is based on real data. And so we can sort those by, if you want to make sure you have your doctors, we can sort the plans by your doctors, and you can tell us that as you're going through the process. If you're more concerned about just getting good care at a good cost, you can do that. We'll sort the plans at what we estimate is going to be your average cost of care on a yearly basis. And the same thing for your prescription. So it's all data-based, so it's not our opinion. This is real-world results that we're basically funneling and then spitting out a result recommendation for the user.
So we do have time for one more question. Anybody else a question?
Thank you, Todd.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm a user and I log on and I have everything I need. I have my money ready to go. How long before I visit your website and I'm actually able to save up?
I mean, if you just went streamlined straight through the site and enrolled, you could do it in 10 minutes. Now, a lot of people take longer than that. We typically don't get enrollments on the first visit. It's typically some second or third or fourth visit. Health insurance is a highly personal thing, so folks don't typically make that decision in 10 minutes. Oftentimes what happens is they go, hey, great, I think I found a plan that fits for me, and now I'm going to go talk to my spouse and my family about that. Or even check with my doctor, right? Because we always recommend, even though our doctor networks are 99% of the time they're accurate, sometimes we'll run into a situation where a doctor has not updated their information on what plans they're making, or their office hasn't done that. And so we'll sometimes just spit out a plan that says, oh, well, none of your doctors are in network on these plans, but the doctor actually does take it. So if we run into that problem, we usually recommend that somebody, if they have a doctor that they really need to see, they call that doctor and say, hey, what plans are you going to take this year? Or specifically call their benefits person and say, you know, hey, which insurance plan are you guys going to be accepting? If I choose this one, you guys take it. But you can do it in 10 minutes, but it's typically something that somebody makes that decision over a couple days period or a couple weeks time, and even waits till the last minute and comes back and rules.
Great, thank you, Todd. So the way we kind of finish things up is, and I know you've already touched on it, but can you tell us exactly what this community can do for you?
Yeah, I mean, we would love to get the word out. I mean, that's our biggest thing right now, improving the numbers that are coming to our website in terms of how many users we're getting. So traction and then any partnerships that you guys can think of. You know, I'll be hanging around for a while. I'd love to hear from you. I have my business partner, but I'll probably leave a couple here as well. But we'd love any partnerships you guys can think of that we can go and help folks. We're partnering with doctor networks, real estate companies, nonprofits, churches, like I said, anywhere that has large groups of people that probably aren't provided a group plan. We're partnering with those folks. So those are our two biggest focus areas: is user traction and partnerships.
All right, thank you, Todd. Can we get a round of applause for Todd, please? So now we're going to have Joel from SoftTech come up and just say a few words. I'll tell you what, SoftTech is a sponsor of 1 Million Cups, and they're really important for what we do. If you're interested in talking with us a bit about sponsor opportunities, do so afterwards. But big thanks to Joel and what you've done for us here today.
So I am Joel Carter, and I am a VP of Business Development for SoftTech, a company that no one in Texas has ever heard of, even though we're based in Houston. Most of our clients are actually West Coast tech companies. It's just the way our business has grown. People leave Microsoft and they go to NVIDIA, and then they go to Intel, and then they go elsewhere, and that's how we built our business. So we thought it was kind of silly that we're a Texas company and no one in Texas really knows who we are. So that is why we are out here at the deck today, sponsoring 1 Million Cups. We really appreciate the opportunity to do so. We're here to tell you today about our full stack development services. We have electrical engineers that do PCB design. We have low-level systems firmware engineers that are really genius at writing code. And of course, now you can't do hardware without it being connected all the way to the cloud. So we're writing apps, desktop software, and doing complex web integrations. Today, we're actually going to show you some of our handiwork. We have some hardware products and software products over here at our demo table that we'd invite you to come stop by and check out. Pretty fun stuff. And also, we are sponsoring a brunch and learn immediately after 1 Million Cups this morning. So we'd invite all of you to hang around, grab a little bit of brunch and see what we're doing, and talk to us about your project, and we might be able to help you out. One thing that's unique about us is our development center is based in the city of Minsk in Belarus. It's very hard to get competent coders and hire them and retain them here in the US, particularly in Silicon Valley, now in Austin, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. So we have people who are at the ready, able to work, and as a unique benefit, they work for a little bit less than typical US wages. That's a topic for another discussion. If you have any questions at all, stop by and say hello. We appreciate you hosting us here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. Okay, so our next presenter is Jessica from Foundation for Choice. Go ahead and welcome Jessica, please.
Dallas. I'm with Foundation for Choice. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. Choice is an acronym for Consider How One Individual Changes Everything. I have a lot of slides, so I'm going to go through them really fast, so ask me a lot of questions at the end. We have a one-on-one mentoring program for at-risk high school kids in Dallas. We have a 27-week curriculum where we have volunteer mentors that mentor juniors and seniors in high school. What is the problem that we're trying to fix? In Dallas School District, there's an 86% poverty rate among the student body. If Dallas County were considered a state, we would rank 48th on pupil per spending, 49th on average SAT scores, with only 56% of the people in Dallas County having some college education. On top of that, 10% of the people in Texas are educated in Dallas County. Really disparaging numbers. We have a solution. It's our one-on-one mentoring program. It's broken down into 3 9-week periods, which is a 27-week program. First one is creative-based relationship building. This is where our students learn what colleges they want to attend, where they apply for scholarships. Every senior is required to apply for 4 colleges. Every student is required to apply for 15 scholarships. Second is research and business. This is where we partner with local businesses to give these students an opportunity to understand what a college degree really can provide them. It's similar to what they want to study in college. They have 3 phone calls and a half-day career shadow with their business. Next one is create your own business. We actually are teaching our kids entrepreneurial skills, which are going to last them a lifetime. We have financial analysis learning, business plan learning, and then they get to present their findings to everyone at their school. Want to give them an opportunity to understand what entrepreneurialism it can be. Additional on top of that, what we learned last year with this program was that most students in Dallas County do not have computers at home, let alone Wi-Fi. So we actually work with the local libraries and create after-school programs where the kids can come. We teach them how to study, SAT prep, the things that we take for granted. And then we also have bi-monthly working lunches at school as well. Our success. Last year was our first year in the school district. 100% of our seniors were accepted to 1 or more 4-year universities. We had $155,000 worth of college funding for our 9 seniors last year. And we, as a foundation, gave $10,000 of that in scholarships. We had 100% of our students complete a resume, 100% participated in Career Shadow, applied for FAFSA, and since 2014, we've had 270 people send any interest in being a mentor. We have 52 students matched this year. Imagine what we could do. Goals. We have 52 students, 26 are seniors. So with the averages of last year, we expect to have over $440,000 worth of college funding for these kids. We are partnered with an organization called Scholly, which was actually just did last week actually. They were on Shark Tank, and they are a scholarship app where our students, it's going to make everything so much easier for these kiddos. And we will have 52 business partners, and we expect to have 100% of our seniors going to college. Our budget's $250,000 to $280,000. It costs about $1,400 per student. That does not include any admin or staff salaries. Future funding, our goals is to hire a special events and fundraiser. We have 52 businesses that we're going to be matched with. We are missing out on an opportunity to, we were matched with businesses last year like Atmos Energy, Rent-A-Center Corporate, some large organizations that all have some community liaison departments. We are missing out on the opportunity of tapping into this potential. And this is a revenue generating position, so it's going to cost $50,000, $60,000. That's nothing that we can actually ask a grant to cover for us, so that's what we have to raise money for. Next year we're going to expand into a freshman mentoring program. We're actually putting together an advisory board right now because we develop curriculum that we give to our mentors every week. We did a survey at the end of last year and found that the mentors love the fact that they actually have an idea of what to talk to these students about. They get to go into the schools and they meet around lunchtime and we give them something to talk about. And then just expand the program. I had to turn down schools last year. The schools want this program and I had to turn it down. I don't want to grow too fast, but I also want to grow. These are some of the costs per student. I can go over these if you have questions. I know you can barely see it. We have 3 paid staff. I actually haven't paid myself yet, so we have 2 paid staff. And we have an amazing amount of volunteers that are doing so much work for us, not including our mentors. These are all of our social media things. I know you have our Twitter up here that I saw, so we are active on social media and love for you to be with us as well. We do have events every year. We have a wine tasting charity event in March, April, or February, March. We have a gala in June, July, 5K in September, and we have others that we just kind of have. And that is it. So we've got some questions.
Thank you. Any questions or feedback for Jessica? In the back?
That sounds like a wonder. Describe the mentorship aspect a little bit more, and also how you make a decision to partner with a company.
Mentors all have to be 21 or older. They have to pass a background check through us, a background check through the school district. And they have to commit to meeting with their student once a week for 27 weeks. They have to go through 3-hour orientation with us, which we make fun and really lasts about 2 hours. And then they also have to go through, with Dallas, they have to go through an orientation with them, which lasts 2 minutes. That's how we pick our mentors. We match them with the student based on similar interests. We have an application that the student fills out, application that the mentor fills out, similar questions like, what do you want out of your mentor student? To if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why, which is my favorite. I always love the answer to that one. That's how we do a lot of our matching. Partnering with the business, it's similar to what the student wants to study in college. We had some businesses last year, like we had a Plano children's theater, which the student wanted to be a theater major. We had Atmos Energy with a financial analyst. Basically, we had engineers. I mean, it's just, we contact businesses. It's very small time commitment for them. And I have found that it's pretty easy to get them committed to the program.
Thanks, you did a good job. Why did you want to set up as a nonprofit?
Yeah, I was in the for-profit industry for about 10 years, medical sales, medical management. Had about 4 different jobs in 2 years, and just, I kept thinking it's the company, the people, the product, and I realized the common denominator was me. So my husband just said, start a nonprofit, and I said, great idea. And I love youth. My favorite age is high school. I can't wait till my stepkids become high school aged. You know, I didn't realize the problems in Dallas County. I did not realize. We were at a high school, or I had one of my staff members at a high school a couple weeks ago, and a kid got shot in the parking lot. I mean, there's a big problem that needs to get fixed in Dallas County. And so I love what I do now, and I don't feel like I'm ever working.
Next question.
Hi, thank you. This is great. How is it advertised to the students in the district? And are you only working with Dallas ISD, or how does that work?
Yeah. We are primarily, about 95% of our students are in Dallas. We also work in Plano ISD as well, really just so we get an understanding of the differences. We don't accept a lot of students in Plano. We partner with the school districts. So the teachers, the staff, the counselors, the principals, they refer the students to us. At the end of the school year, we actually go and do a kickoff meeting at the school. And they invite all of the students to the kickoff meeting. We typically have 100, 150 kids at the kickoff meeting. We talk to them about the commitment, because it's a big commitment. And then they fill out an application, give it back to us in a week or two. Over the summer, we have a ton of mentors. We kind of know who we're going to match with who. And then come at the beginning of the school year, we do student interviews and make sure they're really committed. And then we start the program beginning of October.
More questions?
I have a follow-on question about the 86% poverty rate that you mentioned. Could you describe a little bit what that means? And also, are you looking in the future to partner with, say, food banks and other organizations to help the children that you're working with?
Yes, absolutely. 86% poverty rate means that the families make less than $20,000 a year with 3 people. And then the more people, the less money they make. That's the poverty rate. I mean, it's a huge problem. And the crazy part is, right in the middle of Uptown, right on Blackburn and Cole, is one of the worst high schools in Dallas, North Dallas High School, and you would never know it because it's flat in the middle of Uptown. So, big problem. Partnerships, yeah, absolutely. We want to partner with everybody. We're partners with a lot of nonprofits. We're partners. We had a bank that was a business partner last year. Would love, I mean, yes, more partnerships, the better.
Yeah, I'd just like to make a general comment. This isn't just a Dallas problem. The state of Texas, we so 49th in SAT scores and 48th in spending. What are you doing to lobby the, I don't mind being political here, jerks like Dan Patrick, who are anti-public school? And we have people on the Texas school board, you know, the state boards, that are anti-public schools. I mean, everybody in this room should be outraged, no matter what your political bent, because Texas is a very rich state. You go to between here and Preston Hollow, how many millionaires live in that 5-mile stretch? Okay? And they're not paying attention.
Very true. You know, that's a hard question to answer. But, you know, one of the problems is a lot of Dallas residents that are the millionaires and have a lot of money are sending their kids to private school. So it's not giving these public schools the opportunity to really provide the education that they need. I'm on a board of directors for Dallas High School. We had a meeting yesterday, and not to say anything about the teachers or the staff, but just listening to the teachers read an article that they were reading to us made me realize the disparity in the education the kids in Dallas public school are getting and the education my kids are getting in Plano. I mean, it is a big problem. Lobbying, man, if I had more staff and more people, I'd be all over it. So yeah, it's a problem.
More questions? Feedback? Okay, thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've got one more presenter left. Just as a reminder, there's an app for 1 million cups. If you're interested about learning what's coming up next, great place to look is the app. Otherwise, we're going to get started with Neelish from Urgent Care to Go. Give Neelish a round of applause, please.
I'm going to start out by presenting 3 different case scenarios. It's Sunday morning in Arlington, Texas. And my clicker back. We're back on. So Samantha is waking up in Arlington, Texas at 8:30 in the morning. Her day's packed. She's got church visits, she's got soccer games, she's got birthday parties. To top it off, sorry about that, guys. To top it off, she's got 2 out of her 4 kids complaining of sore throat. Let's fast forward a little bit. Monday morning, Steve wakes up in Dallas downtown. This 27-year-old guy, CPE guy, you know, private equity, busy back-to-back meetings. His complaint, he's got a sinus headache. Next thing, in South Dallas, we got Mr. White complaining of a chronic cough that just won't go away. What do all these people have in common? They all have a medical condition that needs urgent care. But for Samantha, it's just inconvenient to drag all of her 4 kids to the urgent care. For Steve, he just doesn't have the time to do it. And for Mr. White, he doesn't have a transportation to get there. Guys, I'm Neil Sangrani, you're a physician. I'm here to talk to you about my company, Urgent Care to Go. What Urgent Care to Go is, pretty much in short, is a modern day house call. Urgent Care to Go is a bridge between 2 very different models of healthcare. On one end, you have the old-fashioned house calls, and on the other end, you have the telemedicine technology, where you get to pick up the phone, FaceTime a physician, he sends a prescription in. What we did is combine these 2 models together to come up with Urgent Care to Go. Now let's talk about physician house calls. You know, this is kind of like back in the day. It's making a comeback now, but it's like physicians coming out to your house. Obviously, it was superior quality, it was convenient. You limited the spread of infection using that. But it went out of practice for a reason, because it just wasn't a sustainable model, and mostly because it was a very inefficient way for physicians to see patients. Using that model, they were only able to see maybe 1 patient an hour. Plus, you know, you have limited availability. Physicians don't want to go to some of the rural parts of America that need healthcare services. On the other end, comparing this to the telemedicine model, you know, it's very convenient. Everybody has smartphone, Wi-Fi. You just dial, you know, 1-800-TELEDOC, and you get to see it, talk to a doctor. However, some of the recent study shows that important diagnoses are being missed because they're not doing a physical exam. There's no diagnostic test being performed, so we're over-prescribing antibiotics for every reason. This is where we come in, Urgent Care to Go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of walk you through on how our flow works, how our system works, and then compare the benefits of house call, physician house calls, and the telemedicine, how it plays in. So the way it works is user register on our website, it puts in our zip code, it goes through the sign-up process. The next step is he, using his current location and the distance matrix in Google, we tell him, hey, we can be at your house at this time, and we request a visit. Once they do request a visit, a medical assistant is assigned, which is one of the key difference compared to the physician house calls. In physician house calls, the physician's going to the house, and our model is the medical assistant who's certified, who's going to the patient's house. The next step, when they're en route, it's just like Uber. They can track where the medical assistant's going to arrive. They can look at their profile. We take it a step further. They can also have access to their criminal background check, so the patient feels comfortable. Once they get there, they have a checklist to go through, which includes vital signs, which includes temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, all that good stuff. Next step is the physician consult. We have a short video that kind of like walks you through on how the actual physician consult works.
Hey Maggie, I'm Dr. Negrani. We're going to go ahead and start with the physical exam, okay? Let's listen to the lung sounds, Monica. Take a deep breath in. All the way out. Perfect. Let's do the other side.
Not sure if you guys can hear her, but I promise she's breathing.
All the way out. Good. Let's listen to the heart sound. Okay. All right. Good. Let's go ahead and take a look in her ears. All right. Good. Let's go ahead and see the other side. There you go, that looks good. Let's look at the back of the throat. And let's look at the pupils. Good. Other side. Alright, that sounds good. Thank you.
So you saw, using the digital stethoscope, we're able to listen and hear to their heart sounds, look into their ears, you know, look into their throat, see what's going on, and depending on what's going on, we order a diagnostic test like strep, flu, influenza, which they can do at the point of care. Not only that, we can take it a step further and provide treatment, and we have oral and injectable antibiotics available where they can administer at point of care. And they get to feeling awesome again. These are our prices. They're very affordable. They're all listed on our website. We're open about our pricing. There's no surprise bills with us. You know, we'll tell you exactly how much it's going to cost before, you know, the visit is done. So what do we bring to the table? Our model is convenient, affordable, quality, and scalable. It's convenient because it's house calls 24/7. We provide the first dose of medication at the house. It's open pricing, no insurance copays. We also do a full physical exam, and we use very limited resources. So Samantha, Steve, and Mr. White, we've been seeing patients like that for the last 2 or 3 months, and they've had all good things to say about us. And these are some of the comments. I especially like the second one. That one goes to Dr. Pillay. She diagnosed the blood clot on a telemedicine visit, which is awesome. So next. Thank you guys. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Give us a chance. Try us. Our 2.0 is listed on there.
I'm going to open the floor up for questions, feedback in the back.
Just to help me understand the scope of services provided on-site, where does it, and I get the digital and everything else, and after that, in terms of the follow-on things, what other, they have a full lab, not lab, but I mean, what can they test on-site versus they have to go into a lab, or is that, just to kind of give me a sense of sort of the scope of the extra step of testing?
Yeah, so we do like point of care testing, and we have to do CLIA-BATE testing. That's the organization that controls what kind of labs you can do. So we do like strep test, influenza, urine analysis, RSV testing, blood glucose, some of the basic stuff that you would at urgent care. Obviously, we're not able to do complete blood count or check your electrolytes because they have to be CLIA certified. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, thank you. So, for example, Mr. White seems a little bit more seasoned than the other clients that you have. Do they have to go on the internet and sign up, or is there a number they can call? Because I just kind of don't envision somebody like Mr. White jumping online and signing up.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of patients like that. So usually we have our phone number listed on there, and what we do is we kind of walk them through on how to make an appointment. A lot of times they can't do it, and we have somebody to assist them to kind of walk them through on how to make the appointment or make it for them as well. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I couldn't read all of the pricing, all of the services provided in pricing.
Yeah, and I knew there would be a question about that, so I kind of jumped over it a little bit, and because of the technical difficulties. So let's talk about the pricing. The pricing. The way it works is our regular hours are $49.99. That's the dispatch fee. That's between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. For the after hours, which is 8 p.m. and 8 a.m., the prices go up to about $100. And depending on what's going on with you, right? Let's say if I come out to your house, you have a ear infection, we send an antibiotic into your pharmacy, that's included in the dispatch fee. But now let's say, you have a sore throat and we need to do a strep test. The strep test costs about, $20, $25. It's about $25. It's all listed on our website, and it's open pricing. We tell you, hey, this is exactly how much it's going to cost. And we made some combo packages to make it a little bit more affordable and cheaper. So if you see the basic package includes the e-prescription, premium includes 2 tests and includes 2 oral medication. Pro includes prescription test and 2 injectable medications. And then the Pro Plus is like 12 and extra supplements and stuff. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry about that. Thank you for your presentation. I had a question about the typical response time and the typical setup time once they get to the house.
Yeah, so right now, if you go on our website, you usually have appointments available within the hour. So if you sign up at, like, let's say, 2:15, you should have an appointment for 3 o'clock. But we do keep a margin between, we tell our patients that, hey, we'll be there between 3 and 4. Most of the times we'll always be there before 3 o'clock, but, some of the conditions, like traffic conditions, we can't, that's not under our control. So we do have a little bit of margin in between as well.
Hi, so I just wanted to follow up on the pricing. I was wondering, I think it's obvious, but just to clarify, you don't take insurance?
No, we do not. And the reason for that is, when you apply for insurances to become in coverage with them, there's no checkbox for, home televisit model, because this is a brand new model, and insurance don't really know how to charge for it. Plus, if you look at the co-pays in America for commercial insurance for urgent care visit, they start at $75. Our prices are starting at $50. So it's actually beneficial for us and for our patients to not go, with the insurance company because of the co-pays. Like my co-pays are $1,000. I'm never going to meet that. Hopefully, I'll never meet that copay, and that's the big reason why as well.
Hi, thank you for that. I have a couple questions for you. One, how are you acquiring customers? Because what I've noticed, especially with my family, my grandma, they're very loyal to their doctor. So how are you acquiring them? And then my next question is, you know, when the whole Skype thing was going on, do you have a physical office, or are you at your house, and are you sending someone else? Is that a PA who's looking in her ear and her throat and all that? And where are you based out of? Just because I'm wondering about if you have physical costs or if it's just at your house where you don't have to worry about it.
So to answer your first question, the customer acquisition, initially we started out with social media, pay-per-click model, but right now it's mostly referral. With, people telling each other that, hey, we tried the service, this is awesome, it's affordable, it's convenient. So that's kind of like how we're getting our new customers. To answer your second question, we do have a corporate office. It's very tiny, it's not big by any means. And we see a lot of the patient during daytime hours from our office, just like you saw it. But during after hours, usually I'm working in the ER, so Dr. Pillay kind of covers me, or my wife, she's a physician as well. She'll cover me at home. So we kind of split it up depending on the time of the visit. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Yes. For those people that are using FSA or HSA accounts, are you guys covered under those?
Yes, we do take HSA and all flex spending cards. So this way, if your employer provides you with, hey, here's $500 to spend on healthcare, we do accept those, yes, sir.
Thank you for that. Question, what if you're going to a patient who doesn't have Wi-Fi connection? There's no internet connection at all, it's very remote. How is the personnel on site communicating with you if that is an issue?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So that's a big problem. We kind of figured it out. So we have three things, right? First, we have our Verizon Wi-Fi card, which works almost 99% of the time, right? For that 1% of the time, we give our medical assistant an AT&T phone, so a different provider phone that you can connect the hotspot to. And then the third option is obviously, your last one is asking the patient, hey, can I log on to your Wi-Fi? We haven't had to do that yet, but that's kind of like our protocol that we go down.
So it seems like you got a pretty good model, but what is that number that will really break even for you, or how many customer acquisition, and how do you see that trend at this point?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're seeing a few hundred patients, so our volumes are going up. Obviously, our margins are low because that's our whole goal, to keep it affordable for the patient. So it's gonna take a while for us to break even.
So I think I can speak for all of us that are sitting around me. We love the idea that you take HSA and flex spending, so you should market that.
I think it's great for a high deductible.
I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Pillay, who's our partner.
I think it's great for high deductible accounts, because basically all of us know what health insurance does. We pay this premium, but never really have to go to a doctor. But when we do need to go to a doctor, we end up paying so much money because we go to ER or non-urgent care and end up paying their overhead costs to our deductible. So this basically takes away all that cost to the patient, and we're also patients as well as we have families, so we know what that means to our, our environment. So basically that's great for high deductible.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
It's okay. So where are you located? Just Dallas County, or?
Yeah, so our corporate office is located off of 635 and 35 in Farmers Branch. We serve a 20-mile radius from there. So it covers majority of the North Dallas area, so like Plano, Frisco, Uptown, Highland Park, Allen, Frisco area. And it goes down to like South Lake on the other side, and Arlington on the west side.
In terms of, there seems like there's just educating the market about this option, and especially with the FSA agency, like she mentioned, have you thought of going to businesses and doing just quick, when they're doing their orientation or whatnot, somehow targeting the HR or the benefit people at corporations so you can hit a large, I just didn't know what the partnerships or what else besides word of mouth you guys are doing.
Yeah, so right now we're only about 3 months old. We've been live for 3 months. We're still figuring out the small bugs here and there. But you're 100% correct. That's the hardest part, is the educating the consumer that, hey, how does this work? You know, but I gotta tell you that 100% of the patients we see, when they see, oh, that's what my ear looks like, you know, they love it. They love it. That's how they refer their friends and family, and that's what our customers been, how we've been getting. But our next step is to take it to corporate offices. We see schools as a big market, where parents have to go pick up their kid just for an ear pain, so we can educate or train the nurses there, kind of figure out a contract with them, or we can take care of the kids and they don't have to miss school that way.
Okay, the last question.
So it seems your model is intensive. You need people, you need CMAs, you need doctors. How will you recruit CMAs and doctors nationally?
So that's one of the hardest part that has been, apart from educating consumer, is finding the right medical assistant. Because if you look at an urgent care, your medical assistant right now, and we got Alexis here with us, she's been awesome. They do everything from taking vital signs to setting up the technology to providing the medications, watching out for if there's any possible reactions to medication, and making sure they understand their prescriptions being sent. So that has been a struggle for us, but we've been lucky to find some of the really good medical assistants.
Okay, can we get a round of applause for Neela? Okay, so just the last few announcements for you. Like I said before, if this is your first time at the DEC, the Dallas Entrepreneurial Center, I recommend that you talk to Amrish at the very end, or not Amrish, I'm sorry, Emmanuel at the very back of the room. Other things is, the DEC is a really great, I myself am a virtual member here at the DEC. And I'll tell you what, if you're looking to get your business started, if you're looking for a really supportive community, this is a great place to get started. I actually moved here from Denver to Dallas. I found the DEC within 2 weeks of being here, and so far it's been a great experience. I'm seeing Joe in the back there, who's really helped me out with my business. Last, we're not having any 1 million cups next week because of the Thanksgiving. So for the next session, take a look at our Facebook page, or just download the app. Everything is on the app. If you want to apply to present here, you can do it all through the app. Okay? Have a good day.